Hey there, guys. It has been a wonderful 3 years as a Let's Player, and actually it's been a great 5-6 years being on YouTube. I've encountered many people over a lifetime, some good, some bad. But most of the people I've encountered has a sense of crazy about them, and that's the crazy I like. As a member of the Let's Player community, I like to bring my own contribution to the community by doing games my own way. Every gamer has a certain style of playing. I have my own. Now, I might not be as good as the pros, the quote-unquote pros, but I tend to basically take it in stride. I do games my own way, and for the most part, why people would complain about how I do things is beyond me. I don't really give two shits about, there being a style of playing and all that. It's just not me. It goes without saying, why worry about that, But then again, for 3 years of being part of an online community in which feedback is somewhat essential, and the feedback you usually get is like, hey, great job, great channel, blah 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 blah. And I usually just take it in stride, give a good nod, and say thank you. I like doing certain games, and I seem to find my way into a certain kind of game and just work my way through it, because there are some games that I can easily adapt to, and there's some I really can't. And the thing is, I respect every other person's style of playing. The way they play their games, I respect that. I have useful respect for how they play their games. I don't know about half-assing, but you make shit up as you go along. I don't know about that. Like I said, I feel as like an elder, I should say. Rather not an elder, but a senpai LPer. Yeah, that's right, senpai LPer. To those who are starting off in the LP community, let me give you a few tips. First off, don't try to do too much, as an LP. Don't try to say, don't try to, make things stupid. Just keep it nice and simple. You don't have to blow yourself up. You don't have, blow yourself up as I am the greatest Zelda player alive. Haha! I know what I'm doing. Haha! I'm going to make a challenge. No. I feel If you want to play a game, play the game. But play the game as it's meant to be played. And have fun with it, because if you don't have fun with the game, then you shouldn't be playing the game. That's all I'm saying. As an LPer, no, not as an LPer, as a gamer, as a fellow gamer, take your time with games, because there are certain games you just can't rush through, and there are certain games you can rush through. But if you have to rush through it, pace yourself. I mean, I'm one of those types that basically, even if I were to play games straight through, and it would take me like maybe a couple months to beat it because of anything else that could happen, I always take my time with any game, and I play it just to enjoy it. I mean, even when I'm not recording a game, when I'm just trying out something, I always play to enjoy it, not to just like, oh, I gotta rush through a game. Oh, I gotta do this. I don't have to do that. I mean, if you want to do, that's you, but not me. I don't do that. I like to enjoy a game like I enjoy a good book. I mean, it's just that simple. I like to enjoy myself. And, some of us as LPers, we often tend to forget it. We often tend to, we forget. We shouldn't rush through a game. If a game somehow pushes you to the point in which you may want to rage quit, stop. Just don't rage quit. Just stop. Put the game down. Play something else. Play something that's within your boundary. I mean, that's something. Play something within your boundary. Another thing I have to impart to those who want to be LPers. When you title your work, if you're going to say let's play, remember whenever you do a let's play, make it look professional, because no one is going to take you seriously when you have small caps. And you know who I'm talking about. You've seen some people have let's plays and they have with small caps. And most of us who have done let's plays have always done them with capital letters. Like, not let's play in all caps, but let's play, and we make it look official. Like, I could say, if I was doing Chronicles of the Dark Lord, I don't have to say Chronicles of the Dark Lord. I could just shorten it down to where everybody can say, oh, okay. It's like COADL EP1. Tides of Fate. I could do that. If it's that long, I don't really want to, type it, or this is Chronicles of the Dark Lord, spell it all. You guys know what the game is. You don't have to see like, oh, well, you see this game. Or even Super Robot Tyson, I could say Super Robot, I could just say SRW or SRT, and just say, okay, this is, let's play SRTJ, or SRWJ, or SRWD, OG, EF and G, I don't know. I'm just making stuff as I go on. I mean, there are so many things you could possibly do. And you know, if you've been in the Let's Play community as long as you've been an observer of certain Let's Plays, then you should know if you're just starting off and you want to make an impact, do remember to make yourself look presentable. It's like when you're going to a job. You want to look your best. You want to be your best. You absolutely want to feel like you're the best. Because you want it. You want it so bad you can taste it. Now, it's not a bad thing. It's just solid, good advice that I'm passing along because I've been around. I've been influenced by other people, and you know, like I said, I didn't start off as a Let's Player. I started off doing playthroughs, which I call silent run theater. And like I said, I've been influenced by other Let's Players. Mainly, I've been influenced by Franco-Matic. That's how URG got started. Because when I first started off on YouTube, all I did was watch Let's Plays. So the most I ever saw was Franco-Matic's OGT, which is Obscure Game Theater. So namely, I kept watching, and for some reason, just watching that inspired me to do something on my channel, something that could give me a purpose on my channel, namely URG, which means underrated games. Namely, with underrated games, I do games that nobody has ever heard of. That's the purpose of URG. And regardless of, you know, how it sounds, how it looks, the purpose is basically gamers awareness. That's all I'm about, gamers awareness. I'm a Let's Player, but I like to make gamers aware. I mean, there are certain games that are out now. I mean, the next generation consoles and whatnot, they're being shoved out like I don't know what. And like I said, there are plenty of people out there who kind of like have this snooty look. And one moment, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. If it's nothing new, I'm not touching it. Stop. Anyway, yeah, usually I don't answer calls like that because, you know, it's like, usually it's the wrong number. I don't want to answer the wrong number. But in any case, as I was saying before, I was really interrupted by my phone. For the new kids out there. I mean, you know, most of the Let's Players out there, most of the known Let's Players will pick up the first game that is popular, and there'll be acres and acres of this one game that's popular. I, for one, am not one of those people who just pick up one game that is the most popular game and just like, oh, I want to be one of those people. Like, no. I play games that I like to play. Some that are longer than others. Hopefully something is just fun. But that might be my cousin. It's an awkward night, isn't it? Very awkward night. Nobody's answering the phone. I'm not answering the phone, therefore somebody else isn't answering the phone. In any case, what was I saying before? Oh, yes. Try not to be like everybody else. Because you got people who have done how many Zelda games, and how many people have done Shadowrun, how many people have done Super Mario RPG, how many people have done shit, Techno Secret of Stars, for God's sakes, or even more, the game that I first started on my LP career, Radio Sinki Ramayan, or Chronicles of the Radio War. I mean, there is such a thing as being original. It is good not being part of the popular crowd because you want to be seen and you want to do this. Another thing you don't want to do is you don't want to overkill. I've seen very few people actually overkill when they let's play a game. I mean, overkilling it would mean, you've lost the audience. You're making the audience like, derp. And most of my audience, maybe I might get like one or two, maybe three, maybe two or three comments. Sometimes I might get three, sometimes I might get more, depending on who's interested or not. It's not a big deal. Simply play the games that you like to play. You shouldn't try to be like somebody else. Don't try to overkill your own let's play by going off the deep end and doing so much and don't try to do so much. It's just a game. Enjoy it. But don't try to overkill your own game. For the 3 years that I've seen, for the 3 years as a Let's Player, and the 6 years I've been on YouTube, it's all the same. As I'm going into the future of LPing, sometimes I have considered retiring from LPing. Other times, I just want to stop and do something else. But then again, had I done something like that long ago, I really wouldn't be here. But like I said, I enjoy watching other people do their games their own way, especially if it's enjoyable and it's not boring. You gotta understand something with me. If I watch something that's very enjoyable, I'm gonna say something about it. If it's not as enjoyable, I'd give that person maybe 2 to 10 seconds. Yes, 2 to 10 seconds. And if they don't, and if it doesn't really appeal to me within that short a lot of the time, it's like the Gong Show. Next. It's not like, I don't enjoy it, but it's just, yeah, I'm doing this day, I'm doing this day, some people are like that, overkilling and craziness, and, the unlitigated craziness, it doesn't need to be there, but you just want to have it there. And, you say you don't care about how you do. You should care. It's your work. I mean, I haven't seen a singer. Well, not a singer, but any performer of any caliber should actually have pride in their work. If you're doing, say, a song, you should have pride in the song. You shouldn't, mess it up. You should just have pride in what you're doing. And the work will show itself. I mean, if you put the time and the effort in, it shows. It shows. I mean, that's what I do as a Let's Player. I make sure that should something happen like an audio flub, I make sure to have a second save slot ready, just in case. That if anything should happen, like upon the playback of the recording, I don't get any sound, and I won't have to do it over, I have a second slot, just because. I started here, but since I'm here, I'm going to start here just in case. But for this one, I'm using this as my main slot, and I'm going from there. If it sounds good, I'll overwrite. If not, second slot goes here. That's how I do things. I mean, usually that's how it is. Just take pride in what you do. Some of you know that, others don't know. And for you others, you should take some sound advice. Take some of the sound advice that I'm passing along to you, because it's not a bad thing if you wonder why is he mentioning all this? Because you should give your best. No matter what you're doing, you should give your best. You should show your best. What I do on a daily basis is what I do when I'm LPing. I give my best regardless of what anyone says. And if people sub to me just because they like my work, or there's a game I usually cover, I've done my job. I've done the most important part of the job, which is show that I love what I'm doing and I enjoy what I'm doing. But throughout the various games that I've touched and played and slugged it out with, I regret no game that I have ever covered. And whether it was a bad game or a good game or something in between, I did it. I'm glad I did it. Because if I didn't do it, somebody would have told me, hey, you should do this game. Because I like recommendations. I really do. So recommendations are always welcome. If you have a request, please let me know on my channel. On top of that, if you like what you see, please subscribe, send me a comment to either my videos or my channel. And I think that's all I have to say. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for my 6-year anniversary on YouTube / 3-year in Let's Playing. So with that, folks, I have been Kooky Izzy 7. the underdog of the underrated, and the Tenkaichi of gaming. And I will see you next time. So with that, keep on gaming. Enjoy the show. And as always, Tenkai Muso!